Hey, everybody. Welcome to the CharlieB Podcast. I'm your host, CharlieB. Do you ever feel like you have so much going on and you just need to breathe? Being a wife and mother can be so overwhelming, and sometimes you just need a minute. Take that minute with me, CharlieB. In this space, we'll talk about marriage, motherhood, and just being a woman. How do we manage to keep it together in the midst of everything that's going on? We're women, and that's just what we do. So listen, this is that pull up to the house and sit in your car for a minute moment. We all need those. You didn't have to, but I'm so glad you decided to spend that moment with me on the CharlieB Podcast. Let's jump right in. Hey everybody, welcome to the CharlieB Podcast. My name is Charlene, better known as CharlieB, and I'm so glad that you took out the time to join me today. I have the most special guest today. As you know, this series is called Getting to Know CharlieB, and I was thinking, what better way for you to get to know me than through the people that are closest to me? So we've met with my mom and my siblings and my children, and I decided to save the best for last. I have the most incredible guest tonight, the man that pulls my heartstrings daily, the one, the only, my hubby, my boo, my man, George Holmes Sr. Hi, George.
How you doing? Hello, everyone.
George. So, this is Getting to Know CharlieB. So, just going to ask some questions and have conversation. And what was your first impression of me? Why don't we just jump right on in?
Well, of course, I was like, wow, she's beautiful. And the first time we met, you actually sang in church.
I sure did. Oh, I did not want to do that.
It was amazing.
Me and my sister. It was all three of us, right? Me and my sisters?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was forced to sing. I was forced to lead. And we knew you were coming. Clarence talked about that last night. And my god sister said that she had someone for me to meet, and I was like, no thank you. Although I was praying for a husband, when the Lord sent him, I was rejecting. And you came to church looking as good as you wanted to look, and it was uphill from there. Huh?
Yes, sure was.
Yeah. So 19 years in June, George and I will be married for 19 of them things. And I was talking to the kids last night, and one of the things that we talked about the most is George and Giovanna, and George and the whooping. the first whooping, because he didn't believe that I would whoop him, but we also talked about them meeting me for the first time and their impression of me. So, what would you like to? I know you said she's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. But what were your other impressions of me?
Well, very sweet. And I don't know why I was nervous when I first met you. I guess it was the butterflies in the stomach type.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was nervous too, babe. I almost made
Yeah.
myself sick.
But it was great. It was like, almost like I already knew you, but I didn't.
And how is that? We found out that we knew almost all the same people.
Yes. And never ran into each other.
Never once ran into each other. I spent summers, the whole summer, at my goddad's house
Yeah.
at Willingboro. Many summers I spent there. And you were best friends with Corey.
Yes.
And I never met you.
No.
And then to find out that you were spending time in Burlington with Tony and Eric.
Yes.
And I never met you.
We were supposed to. I remember Sis, that's Tony, saying, I want you to meet my sister. I said, sure, no problem. But we just never got around to putting it together.
And then later on, Corey was supposed to bring you to church.
Mm-hmm.
And you stood me up.
Yes. I wasn't ready.
I was like, Corey, where's your punk friend? He was supposed to come to church today. And Corey was like, I don't know, Char. I don't know. I'm like, man.
I wasn't ready.
But then when Sister Saray said that she had someone for me to meet, I didn't know that it was the same person that stood me up like 2 years before. So then the day came, February 15th, 2004. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. You said you were nervous, but I was so nervous. And I can't say that the moment that we met, I knew. But, I'd been praying for her husband, so I said, when I meet him, I will know. But when I met you, I didn't know. But I think my dad, my mom definitely not, but Rev and Eric. Eric helped out with that too, my brother-in-law. And saying, this is a good dude. You had a lot of referrals and references that came along. A lot of good people that were, giving you some, giving me some good, information about you. Like, yeah, this is a good dude, Char. I said, we'll see. I think for me, I was more concerned about Clarence.
Right.
And, making sure he was going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's easy for us to fall in love, but then what about our kids?
Yeah.
And then you had 2 kids too, so I'm sure you had some concerns with that as well.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious as to what type of mother would she be to my children.
Right.
And it turned out well because God was in it. You know, it was all in His timing. And I wasn't necessarily looking for a wife, but I was asking God if it was His will when He sends her. I asked for specific things, and within the 4 months, within the first 2 months, I began to see a lot of the things I asked for,
Right.
and it helped with my decision on saying, you can't let her get away. So, a lot of people would think that we rushed, but when I look back on it, I think we probably went a little slow.
Yeah.
Because when it's right, it's right.
Exactly.
And He blessed me to be able to, get my mind right and say, look, hey, go get a ring and asked her to marry you. That's what I did.
And didn't waste any time, man. Listen.
Yeah.
And you said that you had, I guess in a way, I had been praying for a husband for a while. And I know exactly what I wanted in a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared this story with you, and I'll share it now. I wrote a list to the Lord. I had a list of things attributes that I wanted in my husband. And I wrote it down, and I stuck it in my Bible. My dad bought us all Bibles one year. Me and my siblings, he bought each of us a Bible for our homes, because we always had a big family Bible in our house when I was growing up. So when we all had our own separate homes, my dad bought each of us Bibles. And anything that I needed to talk to the Lord about, my prayers, I would write them down and put them in the Bible. And I wrote my list out to the Lord, and I put it in the Bible. And every box was checked in the man that's sitting in front of me right now. Every box except one. I said on the list I didn't want him to have any kids, which was selfish, but I was thinking about my son. I was thinking about Clarence. So when you came with kids, I was like, but man, if I think about how our lives would have ended up if you didn't, I can't even imagine it now. God knows the plan, and He makes everything perfect. I am so glad. I'm so glad you had George and Giovanna. And we were talking, the four of us were talking about that last night. Even how George Jr. didn't like me, and come to find out Gigi didn't either. And I was like, I was so broken when I found out that Gigi didn't like me too, because I really thought she did. And she was like, well, she said, I portrayed that, but it's not really what I felt. And I was like, Gigi, no. So, that was really interesting. But we came with our own luggage, as no baggage, they call it. We came with our own baggage. And the Lord He just started working things out so quickly that it was almost scary. Mm-hmm. But it was scary for the people around us. But you and I kind of coasted through it like, hey, listen, y'all can feel how you want to feel. We know what we're doing.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I have no regrets.
Nope, not one.
So what you're saying is you would do it again?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Me too, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the first Father's Day? Nope, that wasn't the first Father's Day gift. The plaque that I made you for Father's Day.
Yes.
Do you remember what it said?
I got it hanging up somewhere downstairs. Probably by my chair.
One of the things that I think about was every time we would argue, or every time I would start an argument.
Yes, you would.
You would say, you would
G. For George.
You would go get the plaque.
A God-fearing man. E.
The plaque said George. The G is for God-fearing. It speaks for itself. E is for everything I ever wanted and needed in a man. And the O is for original. God truly broke the mold when He created you. R is for rugged. Just the way I like my man.
That's it. Go on. Say it.
G is for generous. Always giving, caring, and sharing. And the E is for eternity. because that's how long I'm going to be giving my love to you.
That's it right there.
Yes.
Yeah, he blessed you with that one, I'll tell you. I still got it. Yeah.
And I remember reading that in church. And the brothers was like, come on, man. How long did they teach you about that?
I said, what can I say, brothers?
Man. Yes,
said,
yes.
I'm going to make her fall head over heels in love with me.
George.
Every day.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
So how is that your goal?
Well, of course, everything doesn't always go well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had our ups and downs.
Yes, indeed.
We had to get adjusted. One of the adjustments was, you know, for you to allow me to be the man of the house.
Yeah.
Because for so long you took care of Clarence by yourself.
Right.
And when I came on board, it was hard for you to see me, you know, take over and
True. Yeah.
and tell him what to do, and you know, even with discipline and which young men need from time to time.
Even the slight corrections, I remember.
Yeah, slight corrections. You would step in and I would say, no, you have to let me. You have to let me voice.
Right.
You have to let me be that person. And it was very important. But, you know, at first it was a struggle, but, you know, after a while you realize.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to be patient in explaining it.
Right.
And doing it, too.
Mm-hmm.
To let you know that I wasn't doing it out of anger. I was doing it out of love.
Right.
You know. And to let him know as well. You know. All I want is good for you, and I don't want anyone to hurt you.
Right.
Because they won't love you the way that I do. You know, they would just take their anger out on you.
Right.
So, raising two young men, you know.
Oof, those guys.
Oof.
Lord, have mercy.
Chasing behind these guys.
We talked about...
I knew what it was about, but, you know, it was just like, wow, man, these guys are giving me a run.
Last night we talked about, what if... Remember, I discussed this with you. What if we had all 4 kids together?
Oh.
And they were like, whoa.
Wow.
If they had grew up together from, Clarence calls it, from scratch.
Wow, that would have been something.
That would have been...
But I got Jesus. So, you know, he would have blessed me through it, you know. We'd have got through it.
Yes, we would have, honey.
Uh-huh.
You know, one of the things that I admire about you the most, babe, is your willingness to support. It's so important to have a husband that's willing to support his wife, and a wife that's willing to support her husband, you know, because selfishness is real.
Oh, yeah.
And I come from a very large family.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very close to my sisters. And you, even in that, you supported, because you knew from day one when you met us how close we were.
Mm-hmm.
How hard was it for you with the gatherings and the dinners, and just our house was always the place that everybody wanted to come, and it was hard for us to say no. It was hard for me to say no, but I never really thought about how that made you feel.
Well, it didn't make me feel any kind of way, like bad or anything, because I come from a very large family as well, and that's what I am. I'm family, you know. you asked me if I would want to go on a trip to Jamaica or Hawaii or someplace like that, I'll ask you, can I bring my family? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy being around family.
Yeah.
And making memories. So every cookout was another memory for someone else. And I always wanted family to feel at home and to feel comfortable. You know, our relationship when it started off kind of rough from the outside.
Right.
We knew what we had
Mm-hmm.
with each other, but it happened so fast around everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of trust was there. And
What do you mean by the lack of trust?
well, a lot of your family.
Oh, for my
didn't
family.
Trust
Oh,
me.
yeah. Okay.
So
yes,
they
that's true.
thought I was going to be like someone else.
Right.
To be nice,
right.
to put it that way.
They thought you was trying to play a scam on me, like
Right, like I was going to
Yeah.
just come in, sweep you off your feet, and dump you, and
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And but that wasn't my makeup. They
Not at all.
didn't know
Right.
that I'm pro family.
They thought I was being.
So
They felt like just to be. I'm sorry to cut you
Go
off,
ahead.
babe. But they thought that, you know, a lot of times when you find a church girl,
right.
a guy comes to church, act
Yeah.
like he's saved,
pretends,
gets married,
yes.
and then he go off on his own
Own
business
right.
to live his life and leave
Right.
the poor child. But this was not the case,
no.
and I knew that.
Yes.
I knew it.
But they didn't know.
Right.
So it was like, not that I had to prove myself, but even the scripture tells us that, you know, they'll know your minds by the love that you show.
Right.
So every gathering, that was love. That was like, you know, I don't care if they come every week, you know what I'm saying? There is nothing to hide. This is who I am.
Right.
And this is what I love to do. So,
Right.
you know, it was a joy
Mm-hmm.
actually to have the family around and all the little ones running around and enjoying themselves. That's another thing I love for the children.
Oh yes,
to
we
be
do.
children.
Yes.
You know,
Nobody yells at kids around
no,
here.
don't
Let
let
the
them
babies play.
Be children. Let them
Right.
go out. Let them play. Let them run. Because see, those memories you can't take away.
What do you think it was? What do you think it was about our home that was like a magnet for everybody, though? Like,
Well,
I know it was your ribs.
yes, it definitely was
my
my
husband,
cooking. But-
Chef Boyardee has nothing on my husband. Like, he is a master chef. The man can cook. Okay, I just need to put that out there, baby.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yes, it was the cooking, and you know, it was the blended family. It was the difference. It was the you know, we had, you know, at the time Giovanna was 13 and George was 12
Yeah.
and Clarence was just becoming 12, and
Yeah.
then, you know, as we grew as a family, then Audrey was the baby,
Oh man.
and we had our 2 boys and we had our 2 girls, and you know,
It was
almost
wonderful.
every age bracket was covered.
Mm.
You know, so
Yes.
so it made it easy for, if the children want to come over and play, then the parents would be like, well, do you mind? And then I was like, no, I don't mind. Just bring the children. Let's come. And it was always a joy, you know.
After
have a
church,
house.
what you cooking, bro?
full.
What you cooking, bro? You cooking on the grill? You cooking on the grill, bro? And I would say no. My sisters would come
Yeah.
to me and say, "What y'all cook?" When I say, "What we having for dinner?" Well, can we stop by? No, we're gonna be resting after church or whatever. Then they would go to you and ask you, and what would you say?
Sure, why not?
And I'm saying, wait a minute. I said, go home.
Right.
My bruh said we can come over. This has been going on for almost 19 years.
Yeah.
You have,
Uh-huh.
I think God gave, the Bible talks about God given each of us a measure of things. I think God gave you extra hospitality.
Yeah.
What do you think that stems from? I mean, I'm hospitable, but you're like extra supercalifragilistically expialidociously
I get that from
hospitable.
my mother, my uncles, my aunts.
Your mother is one of
15.
15.
She's the baby.
Father, help us.
And that's how our family is,
That's how your mom is.
And that's how my mom is, for sure.
Yes.
Growing up, me being the only boy, and I had 4 sisters, and I'm the oldest. So, I was like the protector.
The first boy
and
of the baby
spoiled
girl.
Boy. I was the spoiled boy.
Wow.
So I had a lot of friends running the streets. And my mom was so worried about me. She would say, bring your friends to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, bring them here. Why? It's like, it's so much to do away from here,
Right.
But I would bring my friends to the house, and she would cook, and I'd be like, they eating with us too? And so
she wanted to keep him coming back.
But it was also a way of her keeping her eye on me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And letting them know what type of mother she is.
Right.
And how much she loved me.
Right.
That she would love them too.
Exactly. That's so awesome.
I saw that and I was just like, man, I gotta be the same way. I have to, that's a good way of protecting and building your relationship, with your friends and keeping an eye on each other.
Right.
So that's what that taught me. And when the Lord started blessing me and knowing that my spiritual family was so big, and he blessed me with brothers and, he blessed me with sisters. And it was like, in the conversations about the Lord and how we would edify one another. It's like, while cooking and while eating and walking around and chatting and, and you're telling your testimonies. And I mean, it doesn't get any better, So that's one of the main reasons why I really enjoyed getting together after service, because that's something that I was taught when I got under the leadership of Bishop Flagg, because I remember our first time meeting. It was like, I said, okay, well, I met her, I'm about to go home. I'll give her a call, and
we're going to talk about that call later, too.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the call. But it wasn't like that. It was like, I came to church and I heard the word, and the first message I had heard was the hidden truth. The hidden truth. And then, after that, meeting you, and then they were like, we're going out to dinner, and I'm just like, wow, okay, all right, going to dinner. And I'm sitting at the table.
I think you were more nervous at the dinner.
And the pastor is sitting at the table, and her dad is sitting at the table, her mom is sitting at the table, first lady sitting at the table, the whole church is sitting at the table. And everybody's looking at me because I'm the first, I'm the visitor, and, you know what I'm saying, what does he have to say? So, I try to do everything right, I'm like, okay, well, which wasn't hard because I was taught well.
It was wonderful because we went to Charlie Brown's was our first. That was where we went to dinner first. That was that day.
That day.
February 15th.
Yep.
And I remember when I walked in, you were already there.
Yes.
And I said, "Hi, George." And you looked at, you were like, "Hi, Charlene. Hi, Charlene." And we were so goofy.
Yeah.
But I remembered that moment.
I was like,
and
wow, what happened to your coolness, dude?
I was like, oh, I'm going to get him.
I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go to the bathroom, throw some cold water on my face or something. What's going on here?
He's going to be mine forever. I knew I was going to have you, boy.
Yeah, they always plotting.
Yes.
So I got to the table, And it's like,
And when you said I'll have what she's having, I was done.
y'all done
That
already,
was it.
y'all already started ordering. I said,
No. We all sat together.
You right.
And then I placed, and you said, "What are you going?" They asked me what
Ladies
I wanted.
first, right?
And I got the ribs, the mashed potatoes, and the broccoli. And you said, "I'll have what she's having." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
I see what I'm dealing with here. And
yeah, cold water work.
It was a wrap from there.
Yes.
Except when we had a nice dinner. We had nice conversation. Selena gave you the hardest time at the table. Selena, I was like, Selena, be nice. And Selena is not usually like the rough one. That's Dottie. Yeah. Right? But you said, all right, it was nice to meet you. I was like, it's nice to meet you too. And we exchanged numbers. And you said, what did you say to me?
I'll call you.
Say it. What'd you say?
I said, I'll call you.
And he said he was going to call me, y'all.
Yes.
And he did not call me. He faded me.
I didn't say what day. I said, I will call you.
Okay, so when you say you're going to call somebody, how long is that person expected to wait for a phone call?
Well, I had got a little tied up and busy.
You were down the street with Eric, lifting weights.
Well, that was my gym time.
You had enough time to go lift weights with my brother-in-law, but you didn't have enough time to come to pick up the phone and call me.
But I did, but it was...
So what had happened, everyone?
Help.
He said that he was going to call me. I waited. That was a Sunday. Monday, no phone call. Sunday night, I was expecting a phone call Sunday night.
I called you Monday because when I got in touch with him, he was like, you better call her, bro. Because I said, what happened?
I called Eric and was like, your boy did not call me. Yes, you're right, because I was expecting you to call me Sunday night.
Oh, no, I didn't say I'll call you tonight. I said I will call you.
He's been sticking to this story for 19 years, so I believe you because you said it.
Right.
But what did I say?
You don't tell somebody you're going to call them and you don't call them, and you know what I mean? And I said, I'm seeing a different side of this person. Who am I talking to?
I got to take a drink of water.
Charlie Boone? Because I heard that name circulating and I didn't know what it meant.
Help me, Jesus. First of all,
just getting to know Charlie, here we go.
Listen, let's go. Let's go.
Right.
Because I was hot. When I say I was hot with this man. First of all, you don't tell somebody you're going to call them and not call them. So I said to my brother-in-law, you better tell your boy to call me because I'm not going to be sitting by the phone waiting for it to ring. I don't have time for games. So you called me Monday. You should have known then.
I knew. I said, oh, Lord.
I said, you don't have somebody sitting by the phone waiting for you to call. If you say you're going to call, you better get to calling. Because if you think this is the game, you better ask somebody else. You got the wrong one. Wow. Do you think this is a game?
But listen, podcasters, we exchanged numbers. So I took hers and she took mine. I said I was going to call her, and if I didn't call her, she could have very easily picked up the phone and called me.
I was a lady.
Obviously, it was something that you wanted.
It was. It was.
Girl.
And it's sitting right here, baby.
I got scared after that day. I'm telling you, I started rethinking. I said, wait a minute.
Did you ever? You started rethinking what?
I said, she was so nice. She sang well and we had a good dinner. What got her so upset? Because I didn't call. It ain't even been 24 hours.
He called me every day, several times a day after that. We didn't. Did we ever stop calling?
I don't think so.
It's to this day we call each other. You leave for work, I call you on my way to work. I call you on my lunch break. I call you on my way home from work. Right? Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
So like we're like KYW 2, 3, 4 times a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are.
I tell you. Wow.
I think you like that.
God is a good God.
You know you like that.
Yes, He is.
What were you really thinking?
I seriously was like, I hope she's not obsessed or,
I was not
demanding.
I was not obsessed.
Putting on a front.
I was not obsessed, but I was too old for games.
I understand.
And you know how guys are.
I get it.
They say, "Oh, I'll call you," and then they don't.
Right.
And that has not happened to me. But you were the first. No, you weren't the first, but I was really digging you from the dinner.
Uh-huh.
So I was really prepared to, have a conversation with you that night. Like, this is, let's see where this goes.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't expecting you to propose that night, but at least have a conversation.
Right.
That's all.
Well, like I said, we met, and thank God, He worked it all out.
Yeah.
But we met. I wasn't actually looking. Like I said, I wasn't looking for a wife. I knew I was going to meet a young lady, and I, it was wonderful, and but it was a lot to consider. And when I said I would call you, I just wanted to get my thoughts together, and and be ready to tell you all about me,
right,
and my children, because you get all wrapped up and moving forward, and then I come to find out you don't,
the kids wasn't on the list,
right? You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of pacing myself,
right,
what to say,
I understand.
But after you called me after my workout, I said, okay, well, okay.
It was like, wait a minute. Can I explain?
Like, wait a minute.
I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to go off on you.
You was fussing like we was together for 5 years already. I was like, hold up.
I was.
You do know we don't live together, right? Like, wow.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, the
That's
Lord blessed
funny.
it. He worked it out, and we
Thank you for not running.
did a lot of things together. No.
I would have missed out on something great.
Yeah, well, I was there. I wasn't going nowhere. It's God's will. And He was blessing. And I was just as interested as you were. So,
So, one of the things that me and the kids talked about last night was Georgie was like, him and Giovanna had a pact. We ain't gonna love her. I ain't never going back down there.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about, how the family dynamic changed and how we went in different stages. When Audrey came,
right,
how she was like the missing puzzle piece.
Yes.
And like that missing link. And when she came, everything just felt complete almost.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it wasn't complete before, because we had a pretty strong foundation.
Yes.
But even Georgie was saying how when Orange came, it felt like the family was like, okay.
Yes.
This is, he even mentioned, this is my sister, you know. He was excited to have a brother, but he had Gigi, but then it's like, I think Audrey came and she kind of put everything in. I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain it. She just
it wasn't
completed it.
Right, because I truly believe, like, we all loved each other, but there was still like a selfishness that was going on between the children. And I truly believe that they were seeking attention amongst themselves.
Yeah.
But when Audrey came, it was like a nurturing hit their heart. And they just wanted to hold her. They wanted her to get the attention. And they became unselfish.
That's true, babe.
And they believed, they really started to see how much they needed each other when she came.
Right.
Not just that for her sake, but how much George and Clarence needed each other and really considered each other brothers. And how Giovanna really began to gravitate to how important Clarence was in her life, and they all gravitated to Audrey.
Right.
And it made it easier on me and you.
Yeah. And even their relationship, their feelings. I thought so often about their feelings toward me.
Right.
Because for a while there was resentment towards me.
Right. Well, they felt like you took me from their mother, but that's not the case.
Right.
Me and their mother were separated for 3 years.
Separated from a relationship, not a marriage, because
not a marriage. Yes.
I wasn't married, and neither were you. This is our first marriage. Marriage.
So we were separated from a relationship.
Yeah, y'all were in a very long relationship together.
Right. And so we weren't together for 3 years, and
to be clear, together physically
for 3 years.
Yeah.
And so I believe that they still had some kind of hope.
Right.
But God was calling me.
Right.
And I could not say no.
Right.
Because he spared my life so many times, and I just knew that if I didn't make up my mind, that I wouldn't be around. So he allowed me to make a conscious decision. And although it was kind of like, wow, what's going on here, I don't know what the future holds, but I trusted God. Right. And as I walked by faith and I began to talk to him and get closer, he began to show me how he was going to take care of everything, so that's exactly what he did,
And one of the things that I admired about you the most was from the gate, your love for your kids. Now, it was easier for me because I had been gone from Clarence's dad. I was single for 9 years.
Right.
Single and celibate for 9 years before I met you. And it was me and Clarence. Yes. And I was raising him on my own. My village is very large.
Right.
My parents were there. My brother-in-laws, and my sisters. They had a bunch of kids, and we just were a huge village. But I knew the husband that I needed to be the father that Clarence needed.
Right.
And when we met, you did not play about your kids.
No.
And you made that crystal clear to me.
Yes. And
that's what I needed. I needed a man that was serious about his kids, because if you were the type of dude that, I got 2 kids, they live with their mom, but I don't see them that often, it would have been a wrap. Because been there, done that, can write a book about it. I'm good. Thank you, sir. You, as a matter of fact, you don't need my number because I don't want you to call me. But when I saw how diligent and dedicated you were to those babies, I was like, yeah, okay. I was telling them last night, that the only time you did not get them, you got your kids every weekend.
Every weekend.
The only time that you didn't get them is when we went on our honeymoon.
That was it.
After that, it was like Friday after work, go get the kids, bring them back, take them home Sunday after service. That was a trial for me too, because I'm like, listen, you go ahead and take the kids home. I'll be here when you get back. You're like, no, you're confused. We doing this as a family. You riding with me. And I'm like, I'm not riding to Camden. I don't want to go. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm. What did you do?
I went.
Oh, look at God.
Why did I have to go? Why couldn't I just stay home?
Because it wasn't just about how much I cared. It was about how much we cared.
I learned it.
Yes.
It wasn't about you taking your kids home. It was about us taking our kids home.
Right.
I got it.
Yes.
You don't think that I got it, but in my mind, for me, until we all moved together, the kids had enough animosity towards me, so I felt like they needed you to themselves. But you didn't see what I was saying, and I didn't see what you were saying. And I just felt like they wanted their dad to themselves. But it's no longer to themselves. This is the family thing.
This is what it is.
We all in this together.
This is what it is. Yes.
You're so wise.
Glory be to God.
The truth of the matter is that I didn't get that for a long time.
No, it took a long time.
I didn't get that. I'm like, no, go ahead and take your kids home. No, we're going going together. And I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. I did not want to go.
It was you know, it was something that it was laid on my heart. God was just telling me, you know, how much they had to see and know and learn of you. And if I would have kept them, you know, they were already older, 13 and 12. So, you know, how much longer would I keep them from knowing who you were? I'm driving them myself and they venting or whatever, you know.
Right.
And having issues when it's not the way that they think it is, you know. So they needed to learn and know that you were going to be there, and they had to accept it.
Right.
You know, I love my kids, but I didn't believe in that spoiling and allowing them to run, you know, my life.
Right.
God bless me with them and bless them to have a father that was loving and concerned about their welfare. So even with the going to get them, I knew that there was a lot of trouble at that age that they could get into, and I knew what type of environments they were in. So it was very important for my presence to be felt. That's why I didn't hesitate. You know, they start trying to make plans after they get out of school on Friday, and
plans to not
come. But I would be there right on time. Where is he? Where are they? And I say he because George was the main one.
Oh yeah, he talked about that.
Trying to disappear and hide, and I was telling them, don't make me come and find you, because then that's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Because if I have to come find you, wherever I find you, whoever is there,
you're going to be a witness.
They're going to be a witness
Ooh.
to the wrath that's coming your way for making me go out of my way. So, and that just, the Lord allowed it to happen that way to set it up for what was to come. And I remember when Audrey had gotten here, and we were in the apartments, and it was just the apartments was too small for our family.
Yeah.
And I was praying. I asked the Lord to bless us with a home, and we went to get our taxes done, and He laid it on our tax person to say, "Well, y'all make pretty good money together. Why are you staying in an apartment?"
And we were like,
"Well,
because we can't
because
afford
we
a
can't
house.
afford a house." He was like, "Sure you can."
No, we can't.
And I was like, "No, we can't." And he was like, "Let me hook you up with somebody I know."
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, the gentleman came, and he began to take us out shopping for houses. And sure enough, we qualified, and
Sure did.
we looked at a lot of homes, and oh man, it was just like a wonderful feeling. And we saw 811, and it was just so beautiful. And there was a room for the girls, and the boys had their room, and the yard was beautiful. They had the fence to play in the yard, and there was a pool in the back, and
it was.
And as soon as he said, "You can get this house," as soon as that happened, I said, "I'm going to Camden to get my kids."
And I said, say what? Say what now?
I said, "I'm going to Camden to get my kids."
I said, what do you mean you're going? Their mother's not just going to let them come live here, George. I'm thinking we were going to have the house, kids going to come on the weekend. No, I'm going to go get my kids. Literally, y'all, I'll be back. He was, I'll be back.
Yes.
I'm going to go get my kids. And I was like, excuse me, can we talk about this for just a moment? But, you know, I didn't think of the magnitude of this no longer being your kids and my Clarence. It took me a while to wrap my brain around the fact that this is now our children. All of our children.
Yes.
And the separation for the week, and them coming on the weekend, was the reason. It's not an excuse, but it was the reason why it took so long.
Right.
All right, Dad's kids are coming. The kids are coming for the weekend. I got to get this. You know, Giovanna slept in the room at the apartment, right?
Yes.
The boys slept downstairs. Giovanna slept in there. So, all right, Clarence, you got to move your stuff downstairs because the kids are coming. So it was just the way things were. And when you said, all right, I got to go to Camden to get my kids, I was like, all right, so, you know, let's plan this out. You know, I'm a planner. All right, let's plan. No. I'll be back. I'm going to go get my kids. And I was like, George, nobody's just going to give you 2 children. Like, what are you talking about? We have to plan this. And the plan was, I'll be right back. And I was like, he's serious. He's about to bring 2 children back. Okay. What happened?
Well, I got down there, and their grandfather and their grandmother was there, and they were at their grandparents' house. And I walked in. I said, "I need to talk with y'all." And I explained to first I talked to the grandpa, and I said, "You know, I really appreciate you taking care of my kids.
Yeah.
I want to thank you." I just said, "I want to thank you for all that you've done. But it's not your responsibility."
Right.
And I said, "It wouldn't be fair to you for me to leave my kids here for you to raise. I know that their mom is going through a trying time right now.
Right.
And she can't. But I can. I just bought a home. I want them to go to school in a better community. I want them to have a chance. And he looked at me, he said, so what do you want? I said, I come to get them. He looked at his wife, he looked at the kids, he said, go pack y'all bags. You're going with your father.
Tune in next week for part 2, right here on the CharlieB Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the show. You can also like my page on Facebook at the CharlieB Podcast. Now, before you get out of the car and go to whatever is next, take a deep breath and remember, this is what you were created for. God gave you a different kind of strength, and whatever it is, you've got this. So again, thanks for tuning in. Really, you didn't have to, but I'm so glad that you did. Join me next time right here on the CharlieB Podcast.